My name is Damon. I'm with the University of Georgia, FMD Services. I'm one of the training specialists in this department. Today we're going to talk about the ProTeam vacuum. We're going to go through the maintenance checklist so you'll know how and when to do your maintenance on your piece of equipment. So first thing, we're going to start off with the things that you would need to successfully do this. You're going to need your PPE. Always need your PPE, your gloves, goggles, dust masks are optional, whichever one you prefer. So after you have those things, we're going to get right into it. So the first thing you always want to check, you want to check your cord. Pull your cord out. It's very important that you make sure that the end of your cord has your three prongs on it, especially your ground. If it doesn't have the three prongs on it, make sure you tell your lead to place a work order so we can get that fixed. This is to protect you from any electrical shock. Next thing you want to do, you want to take your cord and you want to inspect your cord for any rips, tears, or exposed wires. So you want to take the cord, you want to run it through your fingers. So after you have done checking the cord, the next thing you want to check your vacuum bag. How you do that is push this little button. It comes open. Pull your vacuum bag out. Here at University of Georgia, we like to tell the people to change your bag when it is half full. Don't wait till it gets all the way full. Reason being, the fuller the bag gets, the less suction power you will have with the vacuum. So we just like to tell them to change it when it's half full. Another thing that you want to do is you want to reach down in here, grab the motor filter, and if your motor filter is dirty, it's okay to wash, take it outside, shake it off, wash it off. You can wash it with soap and water, but you have to let this air dry before you place it back into the vacuum. So keep that in mind. It's good to check this. I would say you can check your filter maybe once every, I would say once a month or once every 2 months. This filter right here will keep dirt from getting into your motor and damaging your motor. Also, while we have this open, there is a safety switch in here that the vacuum bag sits on. So it won't allow you to run the machine if you don't have a vacuum bag in it. So that's a cool feature that the vacuum has. Make sure you seat it down in there correct way. While we're talking about filters, we're going to talk about the helper filter and how to take that loose. So the helper filter, you have on this particular vacuum, you have a helper filter on the front and you have one on the back. Some of our older style ProTeam vacuums, they have just one helper filter on the side, but it's very important that you do check the helper filter and make sure that they're clean, they're not dirty. A dirty helper filter will allow the vacuum not to get the proper air that it needs. And also the helper filter actually helps the indoor air quality when the vacuum is in use. So on this one, how do you take it off? Take your finger, push the button in, and you pull it out. This one right here is kind of dirty or whatever, but if you need some new ones, get with your lead and they can get with the maintenance guys and they can bring you a new helper filter to put in here. So it is cardboard. You cannot wash these out, so these actually need to be changed. Same with the back. Comes out the same exact way. You just pull the little tab HEPA filter comes out. Let's talk about the hoses on the vacuum. You have a one that you pull out, and we're going to talk about the attachments that goes along with this vacuum. You have a brush attachment, great for spider webs and stuff like that. Pretty good. You also can take this right here and flip it over. A lot of people don't know what this side is for. So you flap these open, and you actually can clean upholstery with it. It's a cool feature. A lot of people didn't know what this attachment could be used for. So also you have this crevice tool, which is good for getting in your corners, getting down if you want to vacuum your upholstery, getting in between your cushion and stuff. So keep in mind with this one, it has a safety feature as well. So if the one's not pushed all the way down, it won't allow the brush rollers to come on. Another thing that you want to do with this machine, you want to check your brush rollers and make sure that they are clean and free of hair. I think this is very, very important to do. A lot of hair can bend the bristles, and if you don't clean them, you can actually damage the bristles. Another thing that you want to do is take your hand and just slightly rub across. If your hand is not able to touch the bristles, then the bristle has worn down too far and they need to be replaced. Another thing that you need to be aware of is if you spin it and it's just freewheeling, and then that's probably mean that the belt is broken. So you want to actually check that as well. Another way you can clean the bristle, you can get a steel brush to brush it off, or you can pull it off with your hands. Make sure you have on gloves, or you can get some scissors and cut the hair through and pull it out. Let's talk about the fault indicators on the vacuum. You have 3 fault indicators that has lights on them. First indicators would be, we're going to talk about, is the bag indicator. The bag indicator could light up because of the bag being full, or it also can light up if we have a blockage in the tube, and that also can cause it to light up. So if that indicator light was to come on, I would say check the bag first. If the bag is not full, then you're probably going to have a blockage somewhere from here to here. Let me raise it up so you can see. So the blockage probably going to be from here to here. How you can tell, most of the time you can take your wand out, get your light shine down in there, and you probably can see the blockage from here. But if you can't, another thing that you can do is for the blockage. I know I'm kind of skipping over, but speaking of, while we're talking about the indicator light coming on, let's just go ahead and talk about the blockage on how to remove it. So there's a tube right here. You actually can pull it out, and sometimes you can see the blockage from here. We used to tell people how you can use your vacuum that you're using to suck the blockage out, but we find that you can damage the hole, break the holes on it. So we tell people to go get another vacuum. Take the one out of that vacuum, stick it up in there, turn it on, and you can suck the blockage right out. And most of the things that stops up the vacuum would be people vacuuming up leaves and just big pieces of stuff that they don't need to be vacuumed. So that's how you can remove the blackets. Another way you can remove the blackets by taking that hose loose. Go get you something long and skinny like your duster, your feather duster, and you can stick it down in there and you can push it out. So there's two different ways of unblocking your machine. So let's talk about the indicator lights. The next indicator light we're going to talk about the brush roller. There's one, if the brush roller is working fine, when you go to turn the machine on, the green light should always be on if everything is working like it should. But then you have a red indicator light. It could mean the numerous of things. It could be the motor's not working like it should. It could mean that the brush roller is probably not working. Another thing that you can do, make sure you spin it and make sure it's not freewheeling, because the belt could be broke, or it could mean that the motor has tripped. Something is going on with it if the red light, this top red light, is showing. So one thing you can do is you can push, this is a reset button right here. You can push the reset button, and if it goes out and start back working correctly, then that's great. But if it doesn't, you can try pushing it again. Hopefully it'll go out. But if it comes back on, then I would suggest getting with your lead and have them to put a work order in and have the maintenance people to come check it out. All right, let's talk about the operations of the vacuum. You have a switch up here, and you have 3 positions on this switch. You have a 1 in the middle, and then you have a 2. So if I were to put it on 1 by pushing it back, it's just gonna have suction. The brush roller isn't on, so it's just gonna be suction. So actually, you can use this on any hard floor surface. You can actually vacuum hard floor on this mode. Or if you take the one, you can high dust, hit the corners with your attachment. So that's your first setting that you have. The second setting you have is, if you were to push it forward and pull it back, your brush roller starts spinning. So this is when you can actually vacuum partly with this setting. But I want to show you something. If I take the one and pull it out, it's going to cut the motor off. The brush roller is off. So make sure that you have it all the way down and the brush roller can work properly. So you actually have to switch on it. So keep a lookout for that. Right. Once you finish using your vacuum, make sure that you want to wipe your vacuum down, you want to clean it up, you want to clean your cord, you want to have your cord looking presentable. So what you want to do is you can get you a disposable rag, you can get a green rag, you can get you some HDQC2, or you can get you some BioS if you have that, some type of disinfectant. And what I would suggest is spraying your disposable rag or rag, and you can take it, wrap it around your cord, put it through your cord as you're wrapping the machine up. It keeps your cord looking presentable. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to wrap your cord up tight. Kind of have it loose, because you can actually damage the cord when you're wrapping it up tight also. Another thing you want to do is, after you finish cleaning your cord up, you want to wipe the entire machine down. Keep your equipment looking presentable, and you take care of your machine, it'll take care of you. So always keep that in mind.